Flash Force. Middle-aged women superheroes save democracy with the Broadway All-Star Repertory Company featuring, in alphabetical order, Lucie Arnaz, Judy Blazer, Donna Lynne Champlin, Jason Graae, Kevin Isola, Kecia Lewis, Nancy Opel, Linda Purl, Emily Skinner, and Karen Ziemba. As we left our superheroes deep in the cavernous wine cellar of the tasteless Mediterranean villa owned by Russian money launderer and fertilizer king Boris Raminsky, Elizabeth and Celia have been discovered trying to enter the top-secret room containing the computer servers that are about to transfer $1 billion to the evil organization ORWELL, that seeks world domination by sowing disinformation, confusion, and hate to destroy democracy. And somewhere on the property lurks the woman with the great boots, the shape-shifting arch-villain who could be anyone and anywhere. When we now join Elizabeth and Celia, they are fighting for their lives. In back of them, on the other side of a thin particle board wall, is the monstrous, supernatural, yellow-eyed dog, waiting to tear them to pieces. In front of them, the barrel of Boris's gun. And in front of that, Boris. Chapter 6. The Brink of Doom!
The last people I found down here, nobody ever found.
You said that already.
I just thought I'd remind everybody. Nobody will come out of here and live. Now again, tell me, what are you doing down here? What? Spying?
No, we just love wine cellars and wine. We're both big into South American wines. You got anything from Chile? Maybe around $10 a bottle?
I love Chilean wine.
Stop this. You take me for fool.
Honey, you're ahead of us with those little teeny tennis shorts.
You are spy, and you are spy. What is your purpose here? It is not singing for party as Broadway ladies.
Oh, it is. We are. Your wife is a big fan of all of us.
I tell you something. The last person I found down here claimed he was water meter reader looking for meter. He is now in more water than he could ever read. Person before said he was lost on way to men's room. He was not man very much longer. That was a stupid lie, easy to expose.
But I mean, why? Oh, there's nothing special here. It's just a wine cellar, right?
You have wasted my time enough. You will not insult my intelligence. You are not here for wine. Who are you?
Don't come any closer.
What is wrong with you? You are glowing.
All right, I'll tell you why we're here. It's existential dread.
What?
Existential dread. I have waves of existential dread. And I came down here because it was dark and quiet so I could meditate.
You came down here to meditate? There are 20 acres of property with little Japanese-style pagodas.
It's dark and quiet down here.
And cool.
You are also here to meditate.
Yeah, I meditate too.
Oh, it's late and we have to go to rehearse for the party tonight.
Okay, I believe you. And your...
Existential dread.
Okay, go. I do not want to see you here again. If I do...
Got a lot of work to do. It's gonna be a great show.
Oh, you'll love it. See you later.
Wait, I want to make a request.
We promise we won't come back here.
No, request. I like Bee Gees. Tonight, you sing How Deep Is Your Love.
We made our escape on many levels and ran into Carolyn back in our suite.
How's everything going?
I'm getting ready for my date to seduce Boris. He just finished giving me a tour of his ping pong trophies.
I don't envy you.
My new superpowers as a body-positive seductress have already failed me. I had no success seducing Putin's propaganda agent disguised as an ordinary party guest in green golf pants from the 1970s going by the name of Elvis.
Maybe he's got his mind on his work.
Well, if I don't succeed with Boris, I won't get the information about Orwell's evil plan or the secret passcodes and Swiss bank account numbers to stop it. I'm so worried about my powers. On my way back from the ping pong trophies, I seduced the gardener, the pool boy, and the gay German chef just as a test. Now I know how to make schnitzel, but I'm still worried.
Meanwhile, Suzanne was rehearsing with Flavio, the Raminsky's right-hand man, and our piano player for the evening, who had insisted on singing a Cole Porter duet with Suzanne.
If you wanna stick like glue, it's just we two.
Buddy.
When I'm later, miss the train, let's fly to Spain.
Buddy.
I'm not sure this is a good idea.
Yes, now we switch. If I find you floating around a lake.
I'll bake a cake.
Everybody.
Look, I really don't think this is gonna work.
Yes, we must. I am more than just a piano player. I am a song stylist as well. I must have my moment. The mistress says so.
Yeah, so tell me more about the mistress. Does she work with Mr.?
My master?
Yeah, are they sort of in business together?
I do not talk about their business.
But we're such good friends now. Singing partners.
Buddy!
So you must know everything that goes on as their right-hand man.
And the piano player.
Yes.
I know nothing.
You mean you don't want to talk about it?
No, I know nothing about their business. I make restaurant reservations, turn down the bed, massage the mistress's feet, and sometimes I drive them. But that is all.
But I thought, you mean you don't know anything that goes on?
No. I am grateful to the master who found me working at a kebab stand in Tunisia and rescued me when my head was kicked by a football hooligan and I was left in a ditch to die. I swore him my eternal loyalty in blood.
So you don't know.
Second chorus!
No. You know, I'm gonna take a break.
Suzanne left the Versailles room just as Pam was finishing up a phone call with her husband, about to be interrupted by Natasha, who had crept up behind her.
I miss you, honey. How sparky. What do you mean? What's the matter with her eye? Well, is it red or just... Are you sure? There's a bottle of eye drops in the hall closet next to the pig's ears. What?
Hello, Pam. Did I startle you?
Honey, I have to go. I love you. Bye.
Who is honey?
My husband.
Husbands, what to do? Listen, Pam, I'm going to leave Boris.
Because?
Because I cannot be in this marriage anymore.
Because?
I know what you know, what I know about ORWELL and their evil plans for world domination. And I know that you know that I want to help you. Oh, before this morning, I was going to kill you when I knew what you knew, but everything has changed. Pam, I have never felt this way about anyone before.
Natasha, while I'm very flattered...
Take me with you.
Where?
Back to New York, with you and friends. I will sing on Broadway stage.
No, you won't. You're terrible.
Then I will learn.
No, believe me, you can't learn. I'm just telling you the truth.
Yes, and I love it. Then I will go to New York and marry somebody very rich and very, very, very old. I want to help you in your mission defeating Boris. I know everything, but I am torn between my passion for you and for what I once had with my hunk of burning love. And he is dangerous, too dangerous. If he suspects, I cannot think. I must think. I will find you later. No, wait, I can tell you this. The $1 billion transfer will take place at 9 p.m., right after my cake is cut, from the computers in the secret room behind the wine cellar. Remember, 9 p.m. Tell the others. Don't forget, we have sound check before the cocktail party. I want to go first.
Back in our suite, I should say palatial suite, decorated with every expensive tchotchke you could buy with laundered money, Suzanne tried to contact Frida, our longtime therapist in our helplessness group, and now our super being oracle and mission leader.
Frida, where are you?
Nothing happened, and Suzanne looked around, helplessly, suddenly startled when Claude rolled over and then back again the other way on the bed.
What are you doing? You woke me up. Typical inconsiderate human.
What are you doing?
I am sleeping.
We have a mission that has to be accomplished by the end of the party tonight.
And I sleep 90% of the time, and I still have accomplished more than you.
I am not in the mood for this, Claude. I am very shaky right now. Frida!
Suddenly, Frida materialized. The once tiny little dynamo who was now 9 feet tall, dressed in shimmering robes.
Yes, darling, hello.
Frida.
Talk to me. What's bothering you?
I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm not being useful. I don't know why I'm here.
Define useful.
It turns out Flavio doesn't know anything about anything. And I'm just stuck there singing some weird duet for no reason. The others are all making progress on the mission and learning to use their powers. Celia's melting steel, and every day finds another new fucking power. Today it's X-ray vision. Elizabeth wrestled a jackal before we were even out of the desert. Pam's apparently stopped Natasha from killing her and turned her into...
Yes, I saw someone who, as we used to say in the 60s, swings both ways.
Carolyn's running around like Mae West.
But what does that have to do with you? We've talked before about your habit of comparing yourself to other people. It's the surest way to make yourself unhappy. And what else?
If you want my opinion...
No, you go somewhere else.
I was going to say...
Be quiet. Go away. I'm talking to Frida now.
Fine. I will go and torment a dog I found in the wine cellar who cannot fly.
You stay away from him. That is not a regular dog.
And still, he cannot fly.
Sit down, darling. What is it really?
I don't think I belong in this group. There's nothing I've learned to do that's in any way extraordinary.
So you're a late bloomer.
I'm serious. My whole life, I could never get a word out talking to real people. It was all inside me, but I couldn't get a clear sentence out or express a thought unless I was actually on the stage with someone else's words. Then everybody said how expressive and articulate I was. Now I've gained a command of words, but I don't know how to use it for anything except sounding wordy. You said I had the power to annihilate with words. Where is it? What do I do? Just call somebody names and they go poof? Frida, I don't know how.
Look, darling, having a command of words is very powerful in itself. Maybe the most powerful power. Words are literally making and breaking this world. It's all about words.
How do I annihilate with words?
You have the power of debate. You have the power to pin them to the mat so there's no other place for evil to go and pull things out of them that they never intended. Are you following me?
I guess.
Remember, words give you the power of intellect, the power of reason. You're the one who can think.
Okay.
And by the way, Suzanne, you know you let that cat walk all over you. You always have. But now that he can talk, it's a lot worse. Remember, we're all convening here before the party in our common room with all the nudie statues.
The caterers were setting up for the party, and the whole villa was crawling with guests arriving, pulling up in a line of cars so expensive the driveway could have floated the world debt. Servants were running back and forth with suitcases and hairdressers with wig cases, and in the suite, Boris kept only for his mistresses. Carolyn had successfully seduced him, and he was spilling his guts.
Unfortunately, no matter what I asked him about Orwell's plans to paint the American Revolution as a hoax all over social media, all he would talk about was his wife and mother.
Hey, I'm doing this narration.
Come on, Celia, I deserve this one. Because after 2 hours of pillow talk, he was still playing his oboe. And I don't mean that the way it sounds. Boris, really? I had no idea you liked to play the oboe so much.
Many times in my life, it has been only friend for me. It reminds me of childhood in small sub-zero town, only 7 hours from Moscow. The sound is a combination of our cat and dog, and it takes me back to our little cottage.
Boris, not that it isn't heaven lying here with you playing the oboe, but you were so fascinating when you were telling me your conspiracy theory about the American Revolution being a hoax.
So-called America, part of Russia, 250 years. The so-called American Revolution never happened. Fake news. It was made up by anti-British liberal media for hatchet job on King. George Washington never existed. He is from children's books. Paul Revere. No such thing. Or horse. Declaration of Independence. Modern forgery. You can look up all those signatures and find they are the names of boy bands. America was ceded to the Tsar by King George III in a land deal in exchange for British mining rights in the Ural Mountains. That is before treaty was broken. Americans, they will believe anything.
My goodness. And you say you're going to do something about it?
You will see.
When, will we see? And how?
I like curvy women. My wife, bleh. Skinny diets, plastic surgeons, little tubes sucking fat out of all places.
I suppose it would take a lot of money to convince the world the American Revolution was a hoax.
Yeah, you see, plenty money. The world will soon have a new order.
How do you get that much money from one place to another? Oh, and I suppose you'd have to hide it so nobody could trace it. You'd have to be really clever.
Is complicated, but not if you have top best computers like we have. You will see.
Don't you hate when you have to reset your passwords? I'm always losing my passwords. Do you keep yours in any particular notebook?
My mama gave me this oboe when I was 9. She used to ask me to play this song for her over and over.
You mean like now?
We sat by the fire in our little cottage, huddling together for warmth, and stared into the flames. Ah, Mama! May I bury my head in your bosom?
I guess.
Mama! Matushka, I miss you so much.
I'm so sorry. What happened to her?
I turned her in. Then she died. Oh, I tried to contact her many times. Many psychics. Much money. Nobody has ever been able to contact her. Maybe she's not speaking to me. But if she would, I would do whatever she told me to do. I'm sorry, Matushka.
Boris, that is so incredible. Have I told you that I am psychic?
She immediately began a seance, and they had no trouble contacting his mother, who right away asked him for all kinds of information involving plans for the ORWELL money transfer, Swiss bank account numbers, and computer passwords, including for entry into the secret room behind the wine cellar and the code word to call off the monstrous supernatural yellow-eyed dog, just in time to meet the rest of the girls and Frida in our suite to get our heads together before the party.
Okay, girls, and Claude, this is going to be complicated. We've got more problems. It turns out those seagulls perching on the secret microwave transmitter are actually not real birds at all, but robotic heat-seeking devices trained to kill anyone or anything that gets near the transmitter.
Why do I feel this is typical?
Why do you say, why do I feel this is typical? Just to be French and fatalistic? What's typical? Robotic killer seagulls guarding a secret transmitter?
Suzanne, don't get your buttons pushed. We talked about this.
You are not embracing the superhero. This is our new reality. It is typical to some people. It will become more typical to us.
You know, I think he's got a point.
This is, however, no cause to patronize me.
You know, I haven't said much these last few days, except about listening devices and X-ray vision and radar jamming and all kinds of technical shit. What I want to talk about now is costumes. Carolyn made us these costumes, and I want us to wear them. Frida, When's the part when we get transformed into our superhero costumes? In the movies, it just happens. They don't suddenly go behind a bush and start putting stuff on, one leg at a time.
Clothes give you confidence. That's why I designed them with confidence in mind. That and breathability.
This is our big night. I mean, everything comes down to this. At 9 p.m., we're going to be stopping ORWELL from a major assault on world stability. This is it. This is the night it all comes together for us. And I want us to do it right. I want to embrace superhero. I want us to feel powerful, because that's who we are now. And after that, I want to go home to Brooklyn, because I'm telling you, I miss my wife and my flower garden, and I need a break from all this.
I want to do the costumes too.
All right, sure.
Then it'll happen. Just trust it. You'll see. And while this is all well and good, we've got to complete this mission, and we must take out that transmitter. We've learned that transmitter is responsible for softening the brains of so much of the nearby population in its range that in an election on the French Riviera, the woman candidate was accused of running a child pornography ring out of a pizza parlor, and people actually believed that. And she lost. Scientists have just named this ORWELL syndrome. And finally, I want you to remember, the woman with the great boots is out there. She could be any person or inanimate object. She is our most dangerous enemy. Be careful. Don't trust anybody, but trust your powers. Use them. Okay, are you all ready?
Yep, ready.
All right.
Let's go.
I can't. Are you ready? Because I know. Just go ahead. Just move on. I'll be ready in a minute.
I'm looking at you all, and I have to say I'm verklempt. Saving the world, that's great, but look at you. Look at you all. Look how far you've come. Oh, am I a great therapist? I feel it's like graduation. Now go and have a good show.
After the rehearsal sound check, which was taken up almost entirely by Natasha, saying, "Can I have more me in my monitor?" Elizabeth and I went down to the wine cellar with Pan, who was sure she had a trick to hypnotize the monstrous yellow-eyed dog that had worked effectively on Sparky, the terrier mix she'd left home on the Upper West Side. And thanks to Carolyn and Boris's Matushka, Elizabeth and I now had the codes to get into the secret room. Suzanne was in charge of operations above ground, and she began by engaging Putin's propaganda agent at the cocktail hour.
Hello, I'm Suzanne.
I am Elvis.
Are you a friend of Boris and Natasha's?
I am ordinary party guest.
Oh, so you're not a business associate of Boris's? I've seen you together so much.
Where is your husband? He allows you to come to parties, sing in public, talk to men alone, without him?
And where's your wife? She allows you to walk around in public in green golf pants?
Touché, my dear. It is not for my wife to allow. I leave her home. She is middle-aged impossibility. She is hot, cold, heavy, crying, laughing, snapping. Does nothing I tell her anymore. Who needs? I leave her home.
Then your wife is the lucky one. And you better be careful because she's about to unleash a power you've never seen and you have nowhere to hide.
Then all of a sudden, there was a rumbling vibration. And damned if Suzanne didn't start vibrating with it. And energy waves came out from her entire body as she spoke in razor-sharp focus with perfect diction, and words unattached to each other began tumbling out of her mouth.
Incomprehensible, reprehensible, despicable, doomed, antediluvian.
The Russian agent began to vibrate and became a blur, and he was transforming into something.
Virulent, vile.
Suddenly, it all stopped. Standing there was another man entirely, dressed in a perfectly ordinary business suit. And when she looked down, Suzanne found that she was resplendent, wearing her own superhero costume. How did it get on her? She didn't know.
Hi, miss. Oh, that's quite a skill. Chad Fogarty, Deputy Secretary of State of the U.S. State Department. I've been undercover as a Russian agent.
But you're a whole different person.
Technology is an amazing thing. And you certainly have some secret powers of your own. I'd like to know more about that. Impressive.
I know you.
Well, I'm very high profile in the media.
No, one year I was singing at the Kennedy Center Honors. We sat next to each other at dinner.
Oh, yes. We've got to do more to support the arts. Where would we be without the arts? But it's like pulling teeth in Congress. Right now, we've got a mission to finish. Come with me. We must find the others and stop the money transfer.
Suzanne and the deputy secretary slipped away from the party, where the guests were so self-involved, nobody even noticed Suzanne was in a superhero costume. And with Suzanne leading the way, they bounded down the stairs to the wine cellar.
The secret room is this way.
Right behind you.
The rest of us had already made it in there. Pam and Natasha, who now followed her everywhere, and I was there. Elizabeth was holding down the monstrous yellow-eyed dog, while I, in a red glow, systematically went from one computer server to the other, magnetically pulling information off them. I've got the contents of 2 out of 3.
I'm trying to get all the routing numbers to reroute the money without Orwell knowing it.
Hurry up! I'm not sure how much longer I can hold him! Be careful, Elizabeth.
How exactly am I supposed to do that? I'm sitting on a supernatural killer dog.
I still don't understand why the call off the dog word didn't work.
Boris changes it every day. He was amateur dog trainer in Siberia on this big show-off.
I can't find the codes.
No, wait. There is secret room behind secret room. I show you.
Suzanne, you made it. Who's that?
The Deputy Secretary of State.
Oh, yeah. I know you. Didn't you have a sex scandal?
Okay. Well, we all made it in here. Where's everybody at with the mission?
I've got the codes and I'm rerouting the $1 billion money transfer to the Nobel. Didn't I sit next to you at dinner one year at the Kennedy Center Honors?
I can't hold him anymore!
Elizabeth lost her grip on the dog, and with a horrifying roar, its yellow eyes glowing and teeth bared, it literally doubled in size and came at us. We scattered and tried to protect ourselves, but it leapt at me, and I was pinned against the wall. I could smell the dog breath of the hound of hell. Suddenly, Suzanne was at my side.
Bad dog!
And in a blur of vibration, the dog was on the floor, its chin flat on the Carrara marble. When we looked up, the deputy secretary was facing us, his back to the door, with a strange look on his face.
Well, it looks like you've accomplished a lot, and you will not accomplish any more.
What do you mean?
I mean that you will not make it out of this room alive. Look at you. Middle-aged women superheroes in costumes. You didn't really think you'd get away with this, did you?
But you're from the State Department.
I am Orwell.
Boris appeared in the doorway with a gun pointing at us.
And I am Orwell.
And Flavio was beside him with a machine gun.
And I am Orwell. And members of Congress are Orwell. And the former president is Orwell. This is bigger than the world will ever conquer.
I told you girls not to trust anyone.
Just a minute. Sedition! Subversion!
The deputy secretary began to blur and vibrate.
Sanctimonious!
And as the blur cleared, standing before us was...
It's the woman with the great boots!
Yes, the strange woman who disguised as a cleaning lady with great boots in our last helplessness therapy group, who was transformed as we were by trickery and deceit and gained the same powers we did, but to use for evil.
And I am Orwell. Now, goodbye. And I hope your death is a painful one.
So I didn't sit next to you at the Kennedy Center Honors.
You will all die now.
Boris, no. You must not allow this. I will not leave this wonderful singing woman.
Then you will die with them.
But you cannot do this. We are made for each other. We are Boris and Natasha.
I will love again. Laterlenia.
No!
With his command, the dog instantly leapt in the air, quadrupling in size as the door clanged shut, and the dog lunged at us with a breath of fire.
What do we do?
I don't know.
You're the dog person. What's the thing you do to hypnotize Sparky?
I rubbed the tips of her paws.
That's not gonna work.
The dog loomed up over us, foam dripping from his mouth, eyes glowing, closer and closer as we huddled together.
Suzanne, what did you do to it before?
Bad dog! Bad dog! It's not working this time.
Doesn't one of us have a superpower to deal with this?
Wait! I'll try and bore a hole in the wall.
But we're on a cliff, 400 feet over the ocean.
One thing at a time.
I did it. There's room for us to climb through.
And do exactly what when we climb through?
Just then, there was a supersonic whoosh.
Yes, I am here.
Claude, you're here.
There is no need to be over-emotional. Come, I will fly you out. I tell you, it is so much better with the cape.
One by one, we climbed out of the opening.
Wait, where's Natasha?
Natasha was gone without a trace, eaten by the supernatural dog in his last lunge toward us. Now, with each of us holding on to one of Claude's legs and one to his tail, he powered us like an engine. And as a flying pack, in formation, we flew out over the ocean, free, and circled the villa below.
The indignity.
Claude, if you distract the robotic gulls, I'll radar jam the transmitter and then melt it to explode.
Okay, voila.
Got it! The transmitter went up in smoke and flames.
That was incredible!
You're forgetting you have to get Boris, too.
We took another circle, then seeing Boris on the lawn in his teeny little tennis shorts, we flew down low and buzzed him. He started running. Flavio was with him and also started running, and we followed them, buzzing them until...
I learned today that I can shoot death rays out of my eyes. Frankly, for years I have felt that I have been doing this already, but apparently it was only in my mind.
Claude shot the death rays. And suddenly, Boris and Flavio disappeared, just vanished. We banked to the left, circled one more time, and flew out over the Mediterranean. But across the wind, we suddenly heard...
Wait! Wait! Wait for me!
Natasha was standing at the edge of the cliff, waving an expensive Hermes scarf. But it was too late. We could not take her with us.
Girls! Girls! I see you on Broadway! Tomorrow is always a day away. Like the little spunky orphan girl says. Tomorrow, I love you!
And we were over the ocean. Suddenly, Frida was flying along with us.
It was all such a blur. Did we get everything done?
Yes, everything. The money was not received by Orwell, but instead went to our Save Democracy organization, No Way, and an extra few dollars to Planned Parenthood. Boris and Flavio.
They are dead.
Actually, darling, worse than dead. They are transported to the River Styx, where they will cross back and forth from the land of the dead for eternity on a small cruise ship, playing cocktail oboe and piano, an endlessly repeating set of the best of Andrew Lloyd Webber. I'm proud of you all. You all opened the door to your next chapter of powers you never dreamed of. Only more is ahead. The world is in a very new place now, and freedom is in great peril. The rule of law is being insidiously destroyed, and you have established yourselves as superheroes. Middle-aged women superheroes saving democracy. But before the next mission, we're going home. Claude to Zabars.
Flash Force, written and created by Deborah Grace Weiner, directed by Mark Waldrop, music composed and sound designed by Nathan Scalzone, edited and sound designed by April Tucker. Episode 6, our amazing cast. In order of appearance, Jason Graae as guest villain Boris, Kecia Lewis as Celia, Donna Lynne Champlin as Elizabeth, Nancy Opel as Carolyn, Emily Skinner as Suzanne, Jason Graae as Flavio, Karen Ziemba as Pam, Lucie Arnaz as guest villain Natasha, Kevin Isola as Claude the cat, Judy Blazer as Frida, Kevin Isola as Kalashnikov Elvis, Kevin Isola as the Deputy Secretary of State, Linda Purl as the woman with the great boots, and I am your announcer, Kevin Isola.
Everybody! I would do whatever she told me to do.